What's going on, everybody? Today, the price has come alive. You see how that works? Everybody gets very bearish. Even I came out with a bearish video yesterday just to appease the bears and, give them a little massage and say, it's okay, it's okay. We might be going down. And then the very next day, we have an impulsive candle back. We are back above the bull market support band. So maybe we continue down, right? Maybe this is some type of diagonal here. So check this out. We have a 1, 2, 3. We roll back up in wave 4, rolls back up into wave 1. Then we come down for wave 5. And that's kind of a good idea. And the reason why I say that is because, and I'll give you another idea too, and I have breaking news, by the way. The day after I give my bearish case, maybe Brad Garlinghouse saw Crypto Brandon and he was bearish, and Brad's like, no, we have to change his mind now. Okay, let's talk about it. So the next day he came out and he says, launching a stablecoin is a natural step. Breaking news, by the way, Ripple is going to launch a stablecoin. So what crypto company on the planet do you know has a native token like a crypto plus an actual stablecoin plus an actual business model plus talks with the IMF, the World Bank, all these other people. Plus, you have a major lawsuit that's about to end very soon. Plus, you have a Ripple IPO that's destined to happen. And now you have the stable coin, right? So, interesting. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, states launching a stablecoin is a natural step for Ripple as we bridge the gap between traditional finance and crypto. We have, number one, the years and years of experience, and there's nobody who has more experience than Ripple. They've been in it since, as soon as Bitcoin came out, they were already producing XRP and creating the company Ripple, right? They have the regulatory footprint. Why? Judge Torres ruled XRP is not a security, but also all of their people like Stuart Alberati, the legal department, they work with regulators every day to have, basically the footprint, as they say. So they know all about it. And guess what? Congress has already stated that they're going to produce a stablecoin bill this year, I believe. I believe it'll be this year or at the latest next year. So both sides of the aisle need they want to win, right? They need to pass something so that, the election is coming up. So they want to look good, right? Democrats, Republicans. So I believe they will pass a stablecoin bill. And isn't it funny how the year that they're going to do it is the year that they produce this stablecoin? Right? Launching a stablecoin is a natural step, like it was destined to happen. But notice nobody knew this was going to happen. It was a secret. And now you kind of figure out, you see how the tactics they play. They don't announce, when you go to like a crypto website, any project, and they have a roadmap, like in 2015 we do this, 2016 we do this, right? Or 2025 we do this, 2026. Ripple does it in a way, but not in the way that we think. So maybe they did talk about it and I just didn't know about it. But anyways, we have a stable coin coming, right? And then, they goes on to say, number 3, they have a strong balance sheet. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. And number 4, a network with near global payout coverage, right? So they have RippleNet, which is basically helping with their technology payments all around the world and remittances, right? To offer the best of crypto-enabled payments, right? So basically, I'll say it one more time. We have number one, the years of experience. Number two, regulatory footprint. Number three, a strong balance sheet. Number four, a network with near global payout coverage to offer the best of crypto-enabled payments using XRP and our future stablecoin together. And he retweeted, see how he rose? He tweeted this basically saying, the stable market is booming around $150 billion a day. Why is the stablecoin market booming? I'm gonna talk about things nobody's ever talked about. Okay, so check this out. The stablecoin market is booming. Why? Because of the massive sell-off, right? When people sell XRP, what do they sell it into? USDT Tether, right? They sell it into USD coin. They sell it into cash, right? Well, guess what? Now we're going to have a Ripple stablecoin. What do you think they're going to sell XRP into? The XRP community is hardcore loyal to the XRP ledger. Very loyal XRP community, right? So, and the trust, stablecoin's all about trust. There's nobody I trust more than Ripple, right? They are not, if they pull some funny business with stablecoin like we always hear about with Tether, it would be the end of Ripple. It would be the end of XRP. It would destroy them. They're going to make this, and they've already suffered a great loss with the SEC. They're going to make this stablecoin, I think, one of the best stable coins on the planet because they're going to show transparency. It's all about transparency. Tether does not do that. But the reason why the stablecoin market is booming is because everybody sold the last week. And guess where they sold into? Stablecoins. But guess what? There's a new kid on the block coming out soon. And I believe that's coming very soon. And guess what? Now everybody who sells, at least XRP, XLM, things of that sort, they're going to sell it into the stablecoin XRP. So what does that do? That keeps the money on the ledger, right? XRP ledger is all about a liquidity source. You see what I mean? It's all about keeping the liquidity on the ledger, right? So people sell XRP into Tether. That ain't going to happen anymore. This is going to be a major blow to Tether, in my opinion. So Tether, right, they woke up this morning and they're like, oh man, oh no, what are we going to do? We got to compete with Ripple? Not again, right? So, I think it's going to be very interesting. But the main thing is keeping the liquidity on the XRP ledger. That's what it's all about. It's all about liquidity at the end of the day. So the volatility you have with XRP, money coming into the ledger, money leaving the ledger, money coming into the ledger, money leaving the ledger. Now it's going to stay there. And what that does is it offers a better foundation to build upon, right? It's gonna provide a better platform for anything that is related to the ledger, whether it be payments or NFTs. People don't even talk about the NFTs, right? Even though I think NFTs are just, not so much of a big deal. I mean, I know they are, but I've never got into the NFT thing. I don't really get it. I mean, I see like the ape coin or the ape whatever, artwork, right? And I get it, and I understand it, but I don't know. When I think of art, I think of something tangible, something you can hold, not something that can just totally rapidly fluctuate in value. But I know it's the future. I mean, when you look at a Picasso painting, eventually those paintings will be sort of tokenized in a way, but nothing beats the real thing, of course. But there's more to NFTs than just art, right? They can be tickets, right, to a concert. They could be tickets to watch a video, like on THETA. Somebody mentioned to do my videos on the THETA network. and people can pay with a ticket using an NFT for a premium subscription. And I thought about it, and I might consider that. Of course, I'll still always do YouTube, but just something interesting to think about. But anyways, that's the breaking news we have. And it came the day after my bearish scenario, right? I put out the bearish scenario. Brad Garlinghouse sees it, and then he goes, "Oh no, we gotta break the news." Because even Brandon's talking about, we can't have Brandon talking about bearish scenarios. Get out of here. I am kidding, of course. Hopefully my sarcastic behavior is welcomed. I am in a good mood because we have a bounce. We have relief. It's good to have relief in the market, right? Especially coming off an oversold territory. So we got that out of the way. Let's jump into price. Now, it's interesting, and I'm gonna talk about the price, but I just want to say one thing that's conspiratorial, right? Conspiracy, and that is the manipulation of the XRP price. It seems like, there's so many. No coin on planet Earth has more glitches than XRP. I mean, it glitches to $100, $50, $1,000, $800, $200, all these glitches. Just go to Google, type in XRP glitch, go to images, or go to the web, or go to videos on Google, and you can see all these different accounts, people recording it in real time. It's just weird, right? I think that has to do, remember, conspiracy, has to do with the price being manipulated. So I think when you suppress an asset so much, like you don't want it to run, like I think XRP deserves to be well over $8 to $10, right? Or maybe even higher. But at the end of the day, when you have artificially suppressed something, you get these wild things that happen in the price, right? So every time it pumps, it dumps, pumps, it dumps, pumps, it dumps. So look what happened yesterday. We dumped below the bull market support band, right? You think Brad Garlinghouse is looking at the bull market support band? I think they wanted to release the news. Because if it was me, I would have released that news at a different time. I would have released it more so when XRP was already on the verge of breaking out. But they released it at the low here, at the local low, to get it back above the bull market support band. I just find that fascinating. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Or like blockchain backer likes to say, God, unicorn, fairy dust. Something weird, right? So I just find it interesting that they released it when we were below it. And then we came up above, right? And look where it went to, by the way. This wick came all the way to the red dot. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, so as far as the manipulation goes, I think eventually that will cease to exist. And when I mean cease to exist, I mean eventually things are going to get so much built up, right? People withdrawing off exchanges, people accumulating. Because remember, XRP is in a reaccumulation zone, right? We are in a reaccumulation zone. So this right here is reaccumulation. That's exactly where we are. So inside a reaccumulation zone, this is very important, and I think this is going to be one of my more important videos. Check this out. Never talked about this. Inside of a reaccumulation zone, you have people accumulating, obviously, right? But here's the problem. If I'm a market maker, if I'm a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar guy, right? And I'm buying millions of XRPs, and I'm packing my bags every day, I have to keep doing that, right? Because if my goal is to get 50 million XRP, right? I can't do that if the price explodes to the upside, right? How can I obtain 50 million XRP? I need XRP under 70 cents. I need it under 60 cents. to obtain my goal of 50 million, right? Because I, as a market maker, right, I am in this accumulation zone, right? So I need to accumulate as much as I can, right? But if I accumulate at the wrong time or do too much at a certain time, I can cause a massive breakout, right? So as a market maker, I need to buy and accumulate XRP, but at the same time, I need to make sure that the price doesn't break out. You see what I'm trying to say? So, then that's kind of weird. Like, you would think, you like a normal person like me and you, we buy XRP, we're like, okay, let's go to the moon today, right? But no, that's not how they think. They think like, I don't want it to go to the moon yet. I want to buy as much as I can, but I don't want the price to break out, because if it breaks out, then I'm gonna end up paying more money. So I need to short it at the same time. So what they do, this is what they do. I'll show you. They come up, right, and they'll accumulate. So you can see, actually, let me use this here. You can see this wick down here. They tapped into the liquidity. They bought some. The price bounces up because of that move. They come back down, right? They buy the dip. It brings the price back up. They go, oh no, it's getting too high. So they short on a trade, on a different system, right? This is their hodling position. They're buying on a different system, on their trading algorithms. What are they doing? They're shorting. Why? Because they want to crush the price back down. Then they buy more, right? Then the price comes back up. They short it again. Then you see this wick right here. Then that's when they accumulate. They come back up. They short it, right? Bring the price down, accumulate. Do the same thing. And then we get way up here. And that was an exuberant event of Judge Torres. But then what happens? They were like, oh no. And that's the big thing about the XRP community right here, is there's a, they're not all too, and I don't want to be rude, but I'm just saying it how it is. I think some of them just kind of don't get it, and that's okay. Basically, when the price came all the way up here, they were very excited, right? But the problem is Bitcoin wasn't ready and things like that. But then the price came all the way back down, and it went below to the point, that's when they came in and said, they were like confused. Well, wait a minute. How come, the judge ruled XRP is not a security? Why didn't it go to $10? Why didn't it go to $1 million, right? I don't understand. The problem is, we don't live in their world. We live in a market maker world. So if I'm a market maker, and like I said, my goal is 50 million XRP, and right here I have 30 million, and we go up, well, wait a minute, I haven't met my goal yet. Short, 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 short. So they short the price, they dump the heck out of it, and they probably end up selling a lot of their hold position. They bring the price back down, then they start accumulating again. But notice what happens. This doesn't come back down to the low. So these were all equal lows, right? This was a lower low. But look at this. This came up and made a higher low, right? So then they accumulate all up in here. See these wicks in here? That's accumulation. They come back up. They say, oh no, we're in the retracement level, short, short, short. They bring it back down, and they're just doing the same thing. Eventually, they're not going to be able to hold on anymore, right? It's like, two different situations happening. You have one, me and you, retail investors, we're buying XRP, we want it to go. But then you have them who have different agendas. They want to get to their goals, right? But they need, look at all this time. This was back in May of 2022. We have May of 2023. And now we're almost in May of 2024, right? So that's 3 years of accumulation. And that's how long it takes them to get their bags filled, right? So once those guys are ready, then they're like, okay, mine are packed, right? Because you have to understand, who are they taking the XRP from? They're taking it from me and you. Well, not me. Well, not you either, because, we don't sell because we hodl, but they're taking it away from people who are trading based on emotions. Stop using your emotions. It doesn't mean anything. Do you think these guys use emotions? No. They're not sad, right? Obviously, they have millions and millions of dollars. They don't get emotional, right? Most of us are not millionaires. I know I'm not a millionaire, not even close, right? So our every dollar that we hold, we cherish so much more than the market makers, as you would speak, because they have just millions and millions of it. So we take it personal if we take a loss, and we get emotionally attached to the price because we want it to go up. But the thing is, when they accumulate, they don't want it to go up. They want it to stay down so they can accumulate more and more and more. But here's the thing. How can the price, how can they be buying all of this XRP and the price still be at 60 cents? See, that's what it does. That's the disconnect people have. It doesn't make sense to people that the whales and the big dogs are vastly accumulating, because if they were, the price would go higher, right? But no, that's why they use computers, algorithms, high frequency trading. They use systems, right? I think ICT, different types of systems to suppress the price so that they can accumulate it, right? So then when we look, so who are they taking the price from? Who are they taking the coins from, right? Because if there's only so many coins, it's the XRP community. They are selling their coins right into the market makers' hands. You see what I mean? So they're selling, they're selling their XRP because according to them, the price hasn't done anything, right? I mean, it hasn't even broken out of its all-time high. It's basically, it was at the same price it was 6 years ago, for crying out loud. You see what I mean? So in their mind, it's dead, right? So they go, I can't take it anymore. I see Bitcoin going up. I see all these other coins going up. So I'm going to sell my XRP and I'm going to go chase them. Meanwhile, then the supply gets, stocked up, and then the market makers absorb that supply. And then when they absorb it, you get these pumps. But then they short it, then you get the dumps, right? Because they want to continue to buy. So basically what I'm saying here is, when they are done accumulating and they're ready for it to go up, don't you want to be on the train before it leaves? I know I do, right? And this is all speculation. This is not financial advice. Remember, this is more conspiracy side. These are not proven facts. This is just observations from what people do and what market makers do. So I don't know 100% for sure that's exactly what's happening. This is speculation. This is not financial advice. Don't get me wrong there, right? But that's how I interpret what's happening. So, people say, well, we had this big major news, but the price didn't do anything. Well, it did. It did. The market cap went up about $3 billion. So upon this potential news, right? So $3 billion just in the last day. So that's a lot of money right there. So this candle right here, think of, these candles don't look like anything, but this candle right here, that's a $3 billion candle right there. That is huge. Now, it doesn't really reflect the price so much, but maybe not to you, right? Or me. But guys who are playing with millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars using 10x, 20, 30x leverage, that's a lot of money right there, right? If you have $10 million and you put it up to, a 7x leverage position, all it has to do is move up a half a penny and you would have made millions more. So, to them, it's a lot. That's why retail is waiting for the big, massive breakout. And I fall under that category. But if you want to be elevated, then, I suggest try to learn how to spot these these moments where you can capitalize on them, right? Like, for example, everybody's bullish right now. Everybody was bearish yesterday, so people, sold. I happened to buy. Now everybody's bullish. Now I took profits on my trade, right? This has nothing to do with HODL position, right? Taking profits on the trade. So if I take, for example, and I'm going to get into all the price, but I just want to go over some of this here. You see this here? This was our wave that broke down, right? We had some divergence, we had too much selling, right? So picking up some XRP, we break out, right? And where do we go? We hit the 618. I actually sold at the 618 and then a little bit more at the 702. This is just a short-term trade. This has nothing to do with the bigger picture, right? Now, I made the money, and now the price is continuing to rise. That's okay. It could keep going to all-time high. I don't care. I made my profit. You get in, you get out, and that's what matters. So, and sometimes they don't work out, right? I tend not to use so many stop losses because crypto is known for stop hunting. Now, if the trade goes in the opposite way, there are ways to mitigate that risk, and I'll probably talk about that when I start doing member videos. But for now, we'll just keep it the way it is. So, enough of all that conspiracy, hypothetical talk. I think you guys get what I'm saying there. But anyways, let's continue with the analysis here. So what could this be? Well, I've often thought here that this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then you have an A, B, and now we're getting C. Now, is C finished? Well, it doesn't appear that it is, because you would suggest that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we get 5, right? If we get this final wave to the downside, and then we have, if I turn on the RSI, or actually let me get to the actual price instead of the market cap here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we see, the price roll over, right? And then you have this, you connect there, but then you come up and you make a higher low, right? On the RSI. So low, higher low, right? Versus low, lower low. So you have divergence here. And that would be a very interesting long setup. Now, it's not confirmed, right? The market moves in 5s and 3s. So maybe it's all we get. Maybe that's what it was, right? Maybe it was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If we start going up now and we get 1, 2, 3, then it's probably more correcting later. But if we come back down, then it's probably an A, B, C, and then we're finished and we can continue higher. Unless, of course, this was 3, right? Which is something like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And this in itself is a 3-wave move. And this, here's your low, here's your higher low, or your lower low, and it's finished, right? So that 3-wave correction could be finished. We'll have to wait and see. Now, I don't think it's just going to shoot up right now. I think if it does, if this is the low, then I think what we're going to see is some flagging out in here. A little bit of flagging out before the big breakout, if that's the case. Now remember, we are very close, potentially, right, to a big major XRP breakout. Because when you go to the weekly chart, right, what do we see? We have an A, B, C, D, and now we're getting E. So we're in the middle of the wave E, right? And E itself can be a triangle. So if that's the case, if this is wave E, then what do we have here? We have A, B, C, D, and now we're getting E. Maybe E comes lower. It can go all the way, like I said, it can go all the way down to, the bodies of the candle. You want to stay above 50 cents. But we can wick down to the mid 40s if it really wanted to, right? But any way you look at it, we have potentially here a contracting triangle in wave E. So, and that's another reason why it could be very, very close. Another reason why it's potentially very close is because we have rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation sideways, right? I've shown many times, same thing that happened here. Rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation sideways, blast off. Rise, crash, reaccumulation, right? Sideways, blast off. So we got the retracement, just like here. While everybody else was having a good time, XRP was at home working out while everybody else was out drinking. So now XRP stayed home, right? And then the next day, you had all these other coins that broke out. Now they're all hung over, right? They're hung over, but XRP is fine. It's just recovering from its workout. Now it's getting ready while everybody else is kind of rebounding. So, this reaccumulation is very interesting. So now let's talk about that. We have, with this reaccumulation, right? We came down and we made this base down in here, this bottoming formation down in here, right? But then following that, we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, which is a diagonal. Then you come down A, B, and maybe a C, right? Or maybe it's a complex WXY, which means it can be finished here, or it can be 1, 2, 3, then finish, then go. So this whole thing would be 3, right? But no matter how you slice it and dice it, I think we're pretty close. I mean, the way this gets invalidated, right, is if we just break this low. If we break this low, then yeah. But remember, if we do have a big dump, that's exactly what happened over here, right? We had a dump. I showed this yesterday in the bearish case. Look at down here, we had this dump. So if that happened again, and we came out and we flushed, right? Because this trend line, the market makers know retail's looking at this trend line. So what they could do is they can break it. They can break that trend line. Remember, the market makers, they don't use trend lines. They use different models. But, they use them for the retail perspective, right? So if it breaks, then what do? Or what does retail do? They see this as, okay, the trend broke to the downside, now I'm selling. So then all that supply gets into the market, the liquidity comes in, all the shorts pile up, then they absorb it, and then they take it long, right? That's exactly what they did over here, right? So you can't really see it on this chart so well. I mean, you can really see it on the Bitstamp chart. You could see this trend line here, right? We broke below, got everybody very bearish, but that's what was needed in order to get this big pump here. So maybe that's what happens again. I don't know. But here's the part where I really wanted to emphasize. Remember Monday, Tuesday, we were dumping, right? Even Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're dumping. I said that's okay because it's the beginning of the week. I said it's not how you finish, or it's not how you start the week, it's how you finish the week. I would rather have it dump early Monday, Tuesday, right, Wednesday, than dump, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Because it's all about the close. It's all about the weekly close. So this is our weekly candle here. And you can see it still doesn't look too good, but at least it's back above the bull market support band. Look at this wick. We wicked right through it. This is how you know there's accumulation going on. You can see up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's XRP exchanging hands. That's people distributing, that's people accumulating, right? It's exchanging hands from the impatient to the patient, right? So you can see this candle here. We broke below. Everybody's getting worried, right? They sell. And then what happens? Boom, we come right back up. So you can see, let's see what this wick is so far. This wick is about 6.8%. So not bad, right? As long as we stay above the bull market support band, we're continuing to be bullish. If we break it, then that's okay. Not in the short term, but in the long term, because then it would just be completing, this triangle here. So A, B, C, D, E, then go. So maybe we come down. Maybe it's already done. And I'll get more definitive answers as we come along. But anyways, we have the potential of it ending very, very soon. So now let's zoom in on this. And you can see now where is this candle going to end right here, right? If it ends below, then it's a probably good indicator, we have a little more downside to go. If it ends above, then we live to fight another day, right? So going down to the 4-hour chart, it could still be a part, it could still be part of this flat here. So we have this, we came up and we had a top. So we had an A, B, right? And then now we could potentially get a C. So 1, 2, 3, or WXY. So boom, boom, boom. That's also another idea. Or if this wants to come back up and then roll back over real quick, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then shoot on up. So it's yet to be determined what that will be. If I draw a trend line here, you can see where we wick to, right? And that's another reason why I took a little bit of profit on that trade. I entered yesterday, I sold today, because we retraced this move, 618, and we hit this trend line. But, on the broader sense, we are back above the bull market support band. Look at that. That's great news, right? Every time we get near it, right? We did close below it, which wasn't so good. But hey, at least we're back above it now. So the goal here for the bulls is to finish up this correction, and break out of here. For the bears, it looks like we're creating a massive descending triangle, which is bad. This is not good, right? From this perspective, you can kind of see this bearish triangle here, right? So we have, which could be, let's see, A, B, C, D, E, and now we're dead. Now we're going down, right? So the measured move on that is pretty bad. Let's see if I pull it up to here, to there, roughly there. I bring it down to here. That gives us 44 cents. So is that what's happening? It's either very bullish or very bearish in that short term, because if you look at if you look at Bitcoin, right, it looks like it needs to eventually come back down to the bull market support band. And I've talked about this many times, where we have an A, B, and we come down for C, right? So if that happens, then XRP is gonna succumb to that as well, right? So I mean, when you look at like Theta Fuel, it would also come down to the bull market support band, which would be fine. It would be actually a good thing. It would be healthy. Even Total 3. I mean, look how Total 3 came up. It looks like a flat A, B, and now we need C come down to the bull market support band, right? So Theta, same thing. A, B, and now we come down for C, touch the bull market support band. So there is definitely high potential for downside. This could be just a simple dead cat bounce, a relief rally. It needs to prove itself. And the way it can prove itself is this right here. Let me show you how it could prove itself. So this was our triangle, right? And if we break below this support, then it's probably going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. I don't think it'll come all the way down there. I don't think that measured move is appropriate for the length of this diagonal. I think it would be somewhere around maybe 50, 51 cents before reversing. So that's what I would think with that, would be a diagonal. Now, if the bulls don't want that to happen, then what we want to see here is this right here. Let me show you. So we have 1, 2, we have 3, we have 4. We need to come up and get 5. If we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have an A, B, C pullback, and maybe we retest the bull market support band again, that is where you can say, okay, now let's potentially take a long here, right? So if we if we start coming down and breaking this low and then come up and retest it as resistance, then it's going to look pretty decent for it to continue going down for that fifth wave. So you kind of want it to have this ABC pullback here, right? So let's talk about that a little more zoomed in here. And that's sort of the story, right? XRP has these big spikes, right? And then what do they do with the spike? They short it and they slam it back down. And then it comes up and retraces 50% or so of the wave. It can't handle it anymore, and then it comes back down, right? And then sometimes you can get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then it comes back up 1, 2, 3, right? So that whole thing would be a 1, 2, 3, or a WXY. And then that constitutes as a fourth wave, right? If I zoom out, that would be the fourth wave, right? So 1, 2, 3, we get 4, we roll down for 5, and then continue with our upside momentum. Or I'm sorry, that's not right. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this would be 1, 2, 3. So you could also have something like this where it's basically, a bigger diagonal. The whole thing is a diagonal, right? Which basically would mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you get that ABC pullback. Then you go to the moon. So we're in that middle of that fifth wave. I'm not sure about that. I mean, it does look interesting here, the way it's drawn. So my friend sent me this chart. I thought it was pretty interesting. So I thought I'd share it. But yeah, I think that could be definitely a potential idea there. And then here's another chart here. I mean, you can see this person here. You can follow them on X right there. Make that brighter. So right here, you can follow that person if you want to. But I thought he had a pretty interesting chart here. I wish my toolbar wasn't in the way so you can kind of see it. But basically, you know, you have back in 2016, you had this, we created the all-time high. We had that divergence. We came back down, right? And that's kind of like where Bitcoin is at the moment. You know, we had this, we came back up in this A, B, C. So let me do this real quick. So A, B, and C. So yeah. And then, you know, as it came down, we can see, you know, as it came down on this one, you can see XRP starting to flag out in here and continue picking up steam. So interesting theory, maybe, maybe not, just something I wanted to share. The important thing to know is that this is all we have to understand. We came down, we created an accumulation base. We broke out, we created a higher accumulation base. All we have to do is stay in this box. Now we can wick below it, that's fine, but we don't want any weekly candles trading below this box. So below 47. Actually, let me put the weekly on. So yeah, about 47, 48. We don't want any weekly candles. Let me just go body to body. So that is our tight range in there. I'll do the same for this one, body to body. And essentially we're right in the middle of this box here. Right? So the middle is about right there, and that's exactly where we are. So yeah, we're right in the middle. So it's anyone's guess. I've offered my ideas here. A, B, C, D, E, continue higher, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, and then we get another low. Or even A, B, C can be finished in here, right? Zooming in to the smaller time frame, I think more people want to know the short term. Is this a reversal? Well, it's kind of hard to say at the moment, but so far it would just look like a fourth wave, which would be 1, 2, 3. We roll back up 4, and then we come down for 5. So if we get this final wave down here, you know, 54, 56 cents, and then we have divergence as well, I think that would be a good indicator for a reversal. And that would be a perfected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So A, 1, 2, 3, B. So you have an A, come up for B, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave C. And then at that point, I think that's when some beautiful price action occurs. Now, it's possible that this is a reversal. If it is a reversal, and this is the low, then what we want to see is a 3-wave pullback. And then we want to see a reaction out of here. And we want to break this high. We need to break 62. So if we can close above 62, 63 really, on a 4-hour scale, then I wouldn't think we would need that final 5th wave. I think it would just be a 3-wave move. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we have an impulse off the bottom, a three-way pullback, get that reaction, and then take the long. And then, that's when we want to break out of here. Because if I put the retracement on from here down to here, we haven't had, we had a 50% retracement. But I would like to see at least a 618 come up here and tag that higher number, right? So put it this way. If the 4-hour candle can close above 70 cents, then it's likely we're going to break this top here at 74. So yeah, those are my short-term analysis thoughts. Just wondering if this is a fourth wave or we're going to get a three-way pullback, continue on. But at the end of the day, when you zoom out, something interesting on the linear scale chart, we did have a breakout right here. So, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's there, right? So something interesting on linear scale, I mean, so subjective how you do it, but that's pretty much that. Now, if you do it on log scale and you do it from body to body, we also had a pretty nice break above this structure. So that's definitely interesting. And now you can see the current quarterly candle, testing and holding above that bull market support band, right? Because this candle, it closed up here. Our previous candle closed up here, and then it opened here, and then what happened is the price came down, and it likes to, usually if you have a green candle, it likes to come back down and retest some of that candle, right? So we came down, we went below the bull market support band, kind of like how this candle, right, had this big wick here. It opened this candle, and it came back up about 50% of that, and then it came back down, closed here. So it's kind of interesting how that works. But going to the monthly chart, I think eventually we will get back up here and test that as resistance. And that will be the big test if we can break above that long-term downward resistance line. Because when you look at it here, we are getting pretty awfully close with that, this apex in here. I mean, it is pretty substantial, depending how you draw it, but basically I would say another year of this of this triangle. Now, typically triangles like to break out. They need to be more than 70 to 75% complete. So once they're 70-75% complete, then that's when they usually break. And I would say we are right there. We are right at that threshold. The current monthly candle looks bullish. I mean, the month barely started, but we have a bullish hammer candle, right? As long, the goal for this candle, and that's what I've said before too, is, you can see, here was our high, right? And then you can see this candle coming up and breaking out. It broke above this candle, this candle, this candle, right? So actually, let me put a line there. And that's where the close was. So this candle broke above the line, and then the following candle opened above the line, but then it comes all the way down to retest 50% of the body of this candle. And then sometimes, it wicked way down here, but then look what happened. It came all the way back up. And now we're right about that 50%. So it'll be interesting to see how this candle develops. So, I mean, you can see XRP is up 5%, compared to the rest of the market. I mean, QNT is up pretty good. THETA's up pretty good. So we are getting some relief today. The question is it going to be sustainable? Casper, this is one of my small cap gems. I wonder how I have to do a Casper video another day. But yeah, looking at Casper, we are in some type of reaccumulation area, box down in here. So waiting for this guy to break out at some point. But that'll do it. And just one more thing. I mean, look at the 9. I usually use the 4-day chart a lot of times. We had a 9 buy. We came up. We had a 9 sell. Now we're going down. So question is it a reversal or a pullback? I think it's a pullback. A, B, and we get C. And it's yet to be determined if we get that one more low. Now the ultimate, if it's really going to be bearish, then I believe we break this channel, like I've said in yesterday's video. Just like we did before. So we come down here, we break below, we grab that liquidity, then we go. If it wants to be very bearish in the short term, and that could happen as well. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. As far as today, it's looking pretty good. I gotta still get that rapid fire video out. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. But if there's anything you want me to take a look at, you can comment below. And I mean, you could just see it's all over Google too. Look at CNBC, crypto firm Ripple to launch US dollar stablecoin. Look at all these articles. Crypto firm Ripple to launch US dollar stablecoin. Ripple plans to launch dollars. I mean, look at this. Wall Street Journal, Blockworks, CoinDesk, Financial Times, Bloomberg. I mean, it's saturated. Cointelegraph, Bitcoin News. So, is it just a pump, like a sell the news event, right? You know how they like to do that. But any way you look at it, as a hodler, as a long-term investor, this is actually good news, right? This is good news. It's going to bring more liquidity to the XRP ledger. So I look at today like a win, and just building another layer into that investment, that long-term investment road that we're all on. I mean, I heard some people saying now that Ripple has a stable coin coming, they don't need XRP anymore, and I would have to kind of disagree with that. I mean, playing devil's advocate with myself, you could say, well, yeah, Ripple's whole plan was to use XRP to get their, native token out there, but their whole plan around cross-border payments and everything about it was a stable coin. And maybe that is true, but I think, XRP acting as a bridge still, or XRP stablecoin is still going to produce more liquidity for the ledger. And, it's not called the stablecoin ledger, it's called the XRP ledger. So we'll see what happens. I think this is a good thing, not a bad thing. And I think we're gonna see some good things happening out of this. So that'll do it for this video. If you guys can, that would be awesome if you can leave a like and hit subscribe and drop a comment if you haven't already. And if you want to support my work, you can always do so. I have 4 crypto addresses on the screen. And yeah, that's always extremely appreciative. And I will catch you guys on the next one.